Hi, it's Lesley Waters from the Lesley Waters Cookery School. Today I'm going to show you how to make an instant Christmas pudding, which is much lighter and fresher. But first of all, we need to thank our friends at Grape Tree for supplying all the lovely fruits. We've got apricots, we've got figs, we've got lovely sultanas. You can mix and match your fruit. But first of all, let's make the pudding. So Tim, come down to this bowl here. I've actually got rid of the really boring bit, beaten the butter, the brown sugar and added the eggs. And here you can see that we've got some orange rind and orange juice. And into that I'm going to add some carrot, grated carrot, cinnamon going in, about a tablespoon of flour. You could use gluten-free flour if you wanted to. Breadcrumbs, and you could use gluten-free fresh breadcrumbs too if you wanted to. These are just whole grain ones. Some chopped apricots or figs. I love using apricots going in there. And some sultanas or raisins going in. All right, so much lighter. We're not going to be putting in any suet or anything like that, but we are going to put in a good old glug of brandy and save some back for the end. Then mix together. Now you can start off mixing with a spatula, but if it feels a little bit tricky, then I just use my hands actually. That's probably the easiest thing. Oh, I'm getting a real sort of whiff of that brandy coming through. And you know, obviously you could put Cointreau in, you could put whiskey in if you wanted to, but save a bit back so that you can flame your pudding at the end. And this will actually freeze quite well, so you could make it and then you could freeze it, okay? So mix it together. I often make this on the day or the day before, and you can make big ones or you can make small ones. Right, that's all mixed and looking great. So what I'm going to do now is you want to get yourself a 2-pint basin like that, butter it and line it with a bit of grease-proof or baking parchment, and then just pick up your mixture and then just push it into the bowl like that. Kind of just use your hands to push it in. Now, because this has got breadcrumbs in, it will actually, and orange juice and carrot, it will be really much lighter than the traditional Christmas pudding. And I know that my family really love this. So get yourself a pan with some water in it. It needs to sort of come up to about 1/3 of the way to the pudding. And I often will turn a plate upside down in the pan and sit the pudding on that. And then you want to get yourself some grease-proof paper and some foil. And you want to put that on the top. Make sure you've done a little bit of a pleat there so that you get a little bit of expansion, allow for expansion. Then you want to tie your string around and snip off the excess, and then you're ready so that it's not dangling in the water. I'm not going to carry on with that. Actually, Timmy, come up here. Thank you. Hello, darling. I'm not going to do that because it's boring. I've been told it takes too long and it's very boring, so we're going to move on. So you put that to steam for approximately 2 hours. And once you take it out of the water, let it kind of just sit in its pot before you turn it out. Okay, so you want to get your flaming ready. I've got a little bit of brandy or your whiskey that you are just going to heat up in a second and just pour over the top. And what I'm going to do now is I've just put a white plate underneath, and I'm just going to lift this off like that. Oh, you can see there. Yeah, that has turned out beautifully. One of the things that we love using here as well is Liberty apple syrup, which is really lovely, just kind of drizzled over the top of your pudding like that. And you can serve this with creme fraiche, whatever you like. I don't know whether or not we need to dim the lights, Tim, or whether or not you're actually going to see this, but I'm just going to pour it over the top there like that. Look at that. And let that just bubble away. Instant Christmas pudding. And I'm not going to put holly on the top. I love to put just a little bit of rosemary.